Hi everyone, welcome back to Behind Bars Blueprint, your go-to source for navigating the incarceration process from beginning to end and even beyond. And today we're going to be doing part one of a two-part series on guilt. This part one deals with the offending party, the incarcerated individual, the person that's going to jail or prison. Guilt can be an absolute wrecking machine. It can destroy families, it can destroy lives, it can destroy mental health, physical health, and if it's not dealt with properly, it can be a big deal. So let's jump in part one and make sure that next week you stay tuned for part two of this series. But for now, we're going to do the 5 tips that you need to know to deal with guilt as the offending party. Let's get at it. So first off, let's start with the person that's the offending party, right? The person that's actually committed the crime, is doing the time, and has caused a lot of heartache, not only for themselves, but for others. This can be absolutely heartbreaking. This can be something that goes on for weeks, months, even years. I've met several people who have been doing it for over a decade, literally been guilt-stricken and racked with regret for years on their actions. And that's to some degree normal, but you've got to be able to process that and you've got to be able to work through it because, again, this program is designed to help you, help families, help individuals get through this process successfully. And when you're just guilt-ridden without any hope, any signs of end of the road, light at the end of the tunnel, it can make things terrible. So how do we start this? What do we do? So step one is you want to acknowledge the guilt and accept it without judgment. That means don't judge yourself too harshly. You need to take responsibility, and that's different than judging yourself. You've already been judged at this point. You're probably already behind bars, or you're getting ready to go behind bars, or you're getting ready to do your time. Maybe you're just going on probation, but whatever the case, judgment's already been passed. You don't need to continually do it to yourself. It's not productive. It's not beneficial. It's not going to help you in any way. As a matter of fact, it's going to distract you from what you need to do. You need to be able to accept the responsibility for it and say, okay, look, I screwed up. I get it. The only thing I can do now is spend the rest of my life trying to make amends for that. And that doesn't mean going around and kissing up and sucking up to people. And that means being real. Recognize the changes that need to be made. Recognize, hey, what got me here and how do I get out of this? One way that you can do this is keep a private journal, okay? Write down in it, what can I do better? What do I do good? What do I do not so good? What's something that's beneficial? What's something that's probably not doing me a whole lot of good, right? You want to do that. Studies show that if journaling is done on a regular basis, it can actually reduce stress up to 20%. That's a big deal. That's something where you just get it out on page. You just get it out on paper. Plus, it helps your mind connect that. Not only are you thinking about it, but you're also writing it down and you're putting it on paper so you can think, okay, what am I really thinking about? What am I doing from day to day? What am I thinking about in this moment? What am I thinking about in that moment? And you're going to start recognizing areas of, hey, you know what? I've got some wrong thinking when certain things happen, triggers, whatever you want to call them. But the first thing you need to do is take responsibility for it. Step 2 is seek forgiveness, starting with yourself. And again, you're going to notice that throughout this entire program, we take a sort of an inside-out approach. In this day and age especially, there's a lot of people that will approach things of, oh, there's something wrong, well, it must be that guy, or it must be that girl, or it must be, it's something that's always out here, and then if they're lucky, they'll work their way back to themselves, and that just doesn't work. In this program, we say start here and work your way out. Now, that doesn't mean that there's not problem people and problem areas in your life that you don't have to address, but it means you need to start here first, because typically, once you get this under control, you can start moving out that way. It may mean something like, hey, you tell yourself, look, I made a mistake, all right? But I'm committed to growth, all right? You don't shirk away from what you did wrong. Don't try to say, to yourself or to other people. I can't tell you how many times I've met people that are innocent, right? That's just kicking the can down the road at the very least. Take responsibility for it, like we said in step 1, and then you need to start with forgiveness and start with yourself, and then start moving with other people. Seek forgiveness from other people that you've wronged, friends, family members, church members, whatever it might be. But go to them and say, hey, look, I see what I've done here, and I've done something terrible. And that may be something where you have a face-to-face conversation, or you may be able to write a letter or make a phone call. But start thinking about the people that you need to seek forgiveness from. Start with yourself, and then go to these people and work your way out and just start asking for forgiveness. Understand, you may not get it from everybody. Depends on what you did, depends on how you did it, depends on the history you have with that person, a lot of things. But you have to start somewhere, and you start by forgiving yourself and then asking for forgiveness from others. Step 3 is engage in positive and restorative activities like Behind Bars Blueprint. Okay, you can go to our website, www.behindbarsblueprint.com. You're going to see a ton of resources there, and they're all designed to engage your mind and to engage your thinking and to engage your heart. We've got programs for no matter what stage of the process that you're in, whether you're getting ready to go in, you're already incarcerated, you're getting ready to get out, you're already out. Your family wants maybe has some questions, something they want to do. There's a book for that. We just recently released that. But activity is going to be your biggest ally. You want to start educating yourself, sharpening yourself, sharpening your mind. Read every single day. And I don't mean fiction, okay? Fiction's fine, but the policy that I go by and we teach a lot of our clients is read 10 pages of nonfiction every day. We recommend doing it in the morning time. It's usually when you're rested and you're restored. Things are typically quiet, even when you're in prison or jail. Typically in the morning, most people are going to sleep as late as they can. If you can have the opportunity without disturbing anybody, get up and read. Read 10 pages of nonfiction. If you don't have nonfiction, read 10 pages of fiction, but read. But start getting into activities, start getting into programs. Again, like Behind Bars Blueprint, start learning new ways to do things. You've got to change your thinking. And the way you do that a lot of times is you do the activity first and the mindset follows. Step number 4 is to build a support network. That could be a support network of friends and family. That could be a church. That could be Behind Bars Blueprint. You can even email us at behindbarsblueprint@gmail.com, or you can call us at 260-228-2626. And if we cannot partner with you directly over the long term, we will start working on getting people in your area or your place to partner with you. We do consultations. You can sign up for a 30-minute or a 60-minute session online where it's just a Zoom meeting. And we sit down and you can ask whatever questions you want. You could be the offending party getting ready to go to prison. You're not sure what to expect. You could be a loved one who's got an incarcerated individual inside that you've got questions and you want to know what's going on. Again, we don't claim to be lawyers. We don't claim to be the definitive end-all be-all, but we know a lot about what we're doing because a lot of us have walked this road before. And so we want to be able to help. We want to be able to extend that out there. And you need a support network of some type in order to be able to do that. You don't want to try to go this alone. And sometimes people think, the guilt, the shame, I'm embarrassed. I don't want, and that's legit. Okay, I get that, but it's not helpful. You've got to find somebody or a group of people. I typically will recommend a church. Family's good, but you want to go beyond family if possible. Again, sometimes family is kind of the forest from the trees type of thing. You want to make sure that you're not too close to a situation, and sometimes just an outside perspective is all it takes. The 5th one for the offending part of the incarcerated individual is practice mindfulness. We do not do this in this day and age, and it's sad, and it shows. What does that mean, practice mindfulness? Think about what you're thinking about. Okay, am I thinking about positive things? Am I studying? Am I learning? Am I trying to grow? Or am I just zoning out into my phone every single day? Am I just staring at screens all day long and flipping through TikTok and Instagram and looking at cat videos, right? We need to study and practice mindfulness, and it's just like any other skill. It's just like any other art form. It takes time and it takes practice, but you need to get a quiet time. You need to sit down. Again, we highly recommend you to journal. And what do you write in a journal? Always write down something of gratitude. Write down 3 things that you're grateful for every single day. Start your day with that. I'm going to sit down, I'm going to open up my journal, I'm going to write down 3 things that I'm grateful for. And start there. Just keep it that simple. Write them down, shut your journal, start your day. But start with a sense of meditation and mindfulness. Think about things. Stop and think, okay, what's my day going to look like? Visualization. Been multiple studies on visualization. That's where a lot of the top performing athletes have been doing this for years. They will look at themselves mentally in their mind's eye, doing the activity over and over and over again and doing it successfully. And then all of a sudden, boy, they step on the field and they're good to go. There's a lot of science that backs this up, guys. So think about what you're thinking about. Meditate, pray, whatever it takes, but give yourself some time. Again, I recommend in the morning to be mindful, to think about, okay, what's this day going to look like? What am I trying to accomplish today? And then go make it happen. And that's going to wrap up part 1 of dealing with guilt. This one, again, is for the offending party, the person that's going to prison, jail, or is already there, and you're just struggling with the guilt. Apply these 5 principles, and I promise you're going to start seeing some progress. You're going to start feeling healed inside, both here and here, and that's very important. If this has been helpful to you guys, please give it a like, a subscribe. That really helps out the channel. If you have any comments, you go ahead and leave them down below. Again, you can email me at behindbarsblueprint@gmail.com. Give us a call, 260-228-2626. Or again, you can go to the website, www.behindbarsblueprint.com. And I would, again, really encourage you to watch this, maybe watch it a couple times, study these, and just put them into practice one by one. Stay tuned, guys, for part 2 that's coming. This one we're going to be talking about the individual that's got somebody inside. They're not the offending party, but they're affected by the offending party, and how guilt can really, really take control of you if you're not careful about that too. So that's coming up very soon, guys. Stay tuned. Until next time, keep the faith, stay strong.